I think it's going to help. It's going to help save a lot of the industry. Our business is one of them. But I think simply when you look at what happened in the big beautiful bill, there was an element that occurred in the middle of the night that was unintended. It's simply an unintended consequence. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Neither Republicans nor Democrats want this to occur, because effectively what it's going to do, it's going to take people that bet frequently, some of the large bettors, some of the professional bettors, and even just some of the larger recreational bettors, and you're basically forcing them to no longer bet legally. You're forcing U.S. citizens to go offshore and bet illegally. Under the current situation, the ability to deduct 100% of your losses is very, very important. Under what got passed in the big, beautiful bill, you'll end up getting taxed on a substantial amount of phantom income. And people that want to make sure that they file an appropriate tax return are being forced to bet outside the country. And that's very unfortunate, because it's going to impact, it will impact all states that have regulated gaming. It'll impact a lot of Americans that just don't want to do that.
How much time do you have to fix it? And by the way, I should mention that Derek Stevens also owns the D in the Golden Gate. He's got a couple of major businesses here. How much time do you have to fix that before it actually potentially impacts business, or is that happening already?
Well, I think everyone's working on it behind the scenes, but I think there's going to be a reconciliation bill that's going to have to come in December. The big beautiful bill does not go into effect until January 1st. And I think the elimination of this 90% deductibility and going back to where we were with the 100% deductibility, that's going to be one of many things that comes into this reconciliation bill that will have to take place at some point in December. U.S. House Representative Titus has, as you had mentioned, has implemented this proposal for the Fair Bet Act. It's gotten bipartisan support. Also, in the Senate, we've got bipartisan support from senators as well. This is just something that needs to be put into a bill so that we can go back to where we were. The impact, I think, is a bit misunderstood from a political perspective, because it would have a big impact on the handle within every state that has legalized sports wagering in the country.
Interesting. Wow. Well, there's a lot at play here, and I'm assuming that you're talking to Representative Titus and the senators that you mentioned. Have you been lobbying actively with your representatives here in Washington?
Sure, we've been talking with Representative Reschenthaler. We've been talking with Representative Titus. We've talked to a number of senators, Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Masto, and I feel very comfortable that I think people are now getting to the point where there's enough awareness that people are raising their eyes and saying, "Oh my, this is not good." I think everyone understands that. It also impacts the number of recreational individuals that happen to go to casinos. The only ones that win out of this deal are the illegal bookmakers. Every state loses in this deal. Every state and every legalized sports book, as well as the U.S. consumer. So this is one that just needs to be fixed. It's very black and white. It needs to be fixed.
You make a pretty good case, and it sounds like you're not too nervous, I have to admit. There's something else, Derek, I'd love to ask you about, a couple things while you're here. It's a pleasure to spend time with you on Bloomberg. There's something else in that big, beautiful bill. It's no tax on tips. What does that mean for your employees and just for service workers throughout Las Vegas? Was this a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good idea. I think the implementation, there's going to be a few hiccups on the implementation, but certainly I could tell you, Las Vegas is a very good representative area, within the country to talk about no tax on tips, because it's the highest percentage of tip compensation of any city in the country. I could certainly tell you, for our employees, they're very excited about it. As the details came out with the $25,000 maximum, that's still very, very impactful. I could tell you, I mean, I think this is something that's going to help spur the economy on, because this money is going to get spent or it's going to get reinvested. Our employees are excited about this thing kicking in. They actually initially thought it went in we went in about a month ago and got real aggressive and started asking about why were they still being taxed on tips. But after going through an explanation saying no, this is gonna happen on January 1st,
Yeah.
there are hundreds of thousands of people that are excited about this, and I think it's going to make a big impact in their daily lives.
What's going on with business in Las Vegas right now, Derek? We've seen a drop in visitors for 6 straight months. I was just there in April, as a matter of fact, and it was packed. I was in line for everything that I tried to do, and I wonder if there's a difference between the Strip and Fremont, or if you're just seeing a different story than the narrative out there. Is business on the upswing or not?
Well, it's interesting question. When you see the headlines that's saying that visitation's down, that's true.
Right.
Visitation's been down, anywhere from 3% to 10% month over month, but that's by bodies. When you take a look at revenue within, let's say, for example, the state of Nevada, with the Gaming Control Board, revenue is up. The month of June, the numbers came out, and in the month of June, overall revenues in downtown Las Vegas up double digits. Overall revenue on the Strip up 3%. So revenues are up, yet visitation's down. So this is kind of where I think you're seeing a little bit of a bifurcation in the U.S. economy. Right now, I would say the middle high to high end not impacted. It seems to be very, very strong. It's down at the lower middle that's being impacted, where the cost of inflation's taking their toll. The cost of transportation, the cost of a flight, cost of hotels, and I think that's the segment that we're missing in Las Vegas, but really in tourism in general. I mean, it's the same situation when you take a look at the tourism board in Hawaii. Take a look at how tourism is impacting New York, Miami, and such. It's really the lower end that's kind of getting hurt. And the one thing I would say, though, is I'm a bit hopeful going forward, because as of right now, it looks as if interest rates are coming down, and these interest rates are hurting that low end. I mean, right now, I believe we're looking at least 125 basis points, maybe 100. The market's indicating about 140 basis points of where the interest rates would come down, and I think that's going to really create a situation where by lowering adjustable rate mortgages, by lowering costs on financing your car, lowering a number of other expenses, that's going to help bring the economy back in a more broad sense as opposed to just a top end sense.
Listen to you, Derek Stevens. You need to join us on our next Fed special. This is actually fascinating to hear you cut this all up. Just lastly, I'm just curious, what's going to happen tonight? You got a big night here, Eagles, Cowboys. I'm guessing that the pool's going to be full. Circa Swim, by the way, if you haven't, this is what I was referring to. This is a massive swimming pool. They have like a 40-foot tall HD screen that somehow, Derek, you can see in the light of day. I still don't understand how that possibly works, but you've got an incredible amount of money here in the Circa Survivor pool. It's over $16 million. What's the crowd going to be like tonight, and how important is football season for your business?
Oh, it's going to be crazy. This is a great day. Stadium Swim is our rooftop location. It's a 143-foot diagonal screen. Jointly developed with Daktronics, publicly traded company. They did a great job, and with their help, we make sure that there's no glare and you can always see it clearly, whether it's day or night. We'll have about 5,000 people out at Stadium Swim, and it's completely sold out. It's been sold out for weeks now. And then within the casino, within Circa, we've got the world's largest sports book. That's an inside venue, and that's completely sold out as well. So we're very excited about that. When you talk about our football contests, I just can't believe how much demand there are for football contests. Last year, we had 2 football contests, and we had a total of $20 million worth of entries. They were $1,000 to enter. They were called Circa Million and Circa Survivor, and we had $20 million of entries. We still have 2 days to go. Those 2 contests plus our new contest called Circa Grandissimo, which is a $100,000 entry fee contest. these numbers are going crazy. We may have in excess of $30 million of entries into our football contest. And the way it works is you have to show up in Nevada. So that just adds to a little bit of Nevada
Incredible.
tourism.